So hello everyone, in this video I'll be telling you something about Visual Studio. Visual Studio is a great IDE, so you can download it and work in the development such as web development or any kind of development. You can choose to work with Visual Studio because it provides a lot of features which we'll be discussing soon. So let's install it first and then see the basic environment of Visual Studio. For installing Visual Studio, you should have to go this place, which is called the official website of Visual Studio. So the URL or the link is code.visualstudio.com/download. You can go to this place and according to your machine you can download it, whether it be Windows or Linux or any Apple machine. So you can download any 64-bit or 32-bit version of Visual Studio and then we can install it. Installation is very easy. You just have to click next and the default setting should be as it is, which is given there, and you can install that. After the installation, you have to open the working directory. In my case, I'll be opening, uh, for example, I'm opening any directory. For example, if I want to open working directory, let me just start it. So in here, I can create any directory, and then inside that, I can open Visual Studio. You can directly go inside the Visual Studio and can open this file. I will tell you how you can do that. But in Windows, you will find this open with code option. When you right click on the empty directory, you will see this open with code. So you can click on this and this directory will be opened into the Visual Studio. So this is the basic environment for the Visual Studio. It is asking for authorizing and about this directory that this is a right directory and we should execute every command executed in this directory. So I trust the authors. You can press this one, so it will not give you that warning. So this is actually the environment in which we'll be working, or you can work on any project. So actually side interface this side interface is nothing, just your directory. You can consider it as your directory, and inside that you can create new files by clicking on this file icon. If I want to create any index.html file, so I can create that easily. Just have to write the name and the extension for that file, and that file will be created actually. And you can also create the folders if you want by clicking on this a new folder option, and then we can create any folder. For example, I want to create assets, so I can create this folder. Anything you can create in here, like the files and the folder, any kind of file and the folders. You can refresh this page if you want to rename it, or like if the effects are not reflected in here, so you can refresh this thing. You can also copy the things or collapse this bar. This option is for collapsing. Let me just Now you can see that. So inside that nothing is there. So let me just put something inside that. It'll ask you that are you sure you want to move it? So we can move it directly. So it has moved inside this directory. So if I create one more directory called CSS, and inside that if I create any file called styles.css, so you can see that right now it is collapsed. So collapse means the folders are collapsed and the files inside that will not be visible to you. If I click on this, then it will be visible. So it is expanded, you can say. And if you want to collapse the uh, folders, then you can click on this one also. If you want to collapse all the folders which are expanded, so you can click on this icon and it will collapse all the folders. So the side bars you can see in here, there are different tabs you can see. In here you can click on this and search for anything or any file about like which you want to search in here. You can search about that. Also you can search for the text in the files in here which is there. So for example, if I let me just go to index.html and let me just use the snippet. So I'll tell you what this is actually. So this is emmet actually, and it gives you automatic automatic snippets for your code. uh, right now it gave me for HTML, so I did just nothing, but I just pressed one exclamation symbol, so it started giving me this. So this is the default thing in here. So in here I can write anything. Hi, let me just write hi, and then if I search for title, so you can see that it is showing me the results that the title word is in this file and at these places. So if I click on that, so it will highlight those places. So you can see that. So if I search for hi here, so you can see that it is highlighting that. I can also replace this hi to hello or anything. So if I want to replace this, just I have to click on this replace all, or just let me just replace all this. Yeah, let me just replace it. You can also do this by Control F or by find. And if you click on this expand icon or this toggle icon, if you click on that, you can also search the things in here. Like if I want to change the hello, for example, hello, it is selected here. So if I want to change to something else like name, so I can replace that name to let's say alt. So if I click on this one, that icon is not present there. If I click on this one, it will replace only this name, and if I click on the other one, which is replace all, it will replace this name wherever it is. Like if there are many names, then it will replace all the names into alt. If I click on this one only, then it will replace the one name word which is selected right now. You can go to the next one if there are many same words like this. Right now it is only one, so we can change the names. So to get the idea, like if I click on this down icon, so it will go to the next line where the next word is. So I can go back like this, and I can go to there. I can close this button or this find bar. Find options are there, and find and replace. Similarly, it is for source control. Source control means you have used GitHub and Git something like that. So if I initialize any Git repository in here, so all the commits and these stage files will be visible here. I can click on this and initialize the Git repository if I want, but I won't be doing it. This one is for checking the debug and debugging the code. So if you want to debug your code and check for the changes where all the things are happening, so you can do like this also. So if you want to make checkpoints in here, so for example I made one checkpoint in here or the breakpoint, so it will execute the code and wait here until I press the next, and it will go to the next line. So for this I can make the separate video if you want. So you can comment down and let me know that if you want the video about this or not. So it is actually for the debugging purposes. We'll not be doing in this. I'll be giving you just the basic idea or the basic working environment introduction in this Visual Studio. The other one is extinctions. This is a great place. In here you can install some great extensions that helps in the development or the productivity of your code. So you can download. Right now I have installed some extensions. So these are for different purposes. For example, this will automatically rename the tags which are closing. So for example, if I change the name of body, so it will change the closing tag name also. You can see that it is closing that also. It is changing that as that one also. So this is actually happening because I have installed this auto rename tag feature or this extension. If I click on any of the extension, you can see the details are there and how I can configure that. The instructions for that extension will be also available there. So you can study about any extinctions, or you can see my videos like about the extinctions or the awesome extinctions. You can also search in the internet that what are the great extinctions for Visual Studio Code. So you'll get the list and you can install them as well. So these are some like in here you can install. Installing is just simple. You just have to search for that extension. For example, if I search for CSS Peak, so I can install this extension which is by Pranay Prakash. I can install this one and that will be installed. If it has some other configurations that needs to be executed in Visual Studio, so that you can perform here. So you can read anything about that extension, like how you should configure that and something like that. So this will be available for all the extensions. So you can explore this section which is extensions, which is a great place I think. So you can do that. This one will not be available in your Visual Studio Code, I think, because it is because of one extension called Live Share. It actually lets you join the other Visual Studio which is remotely connected. So I can participate with the other person who is working on internet and working on his computer, writing his code, and I can join his Visual Studio, and I can also write the code in his Visual Studio Code. So basically, it is kind of remote development, you can say. So many people can work on the same project by writing some code by joining the sessions which a person creates. So I can create a session by clicking on the share, and I can also join the session by clicking on this. So this you will get after installing one extension called Live Share. Then this option will be available. So this is a separate like lesson or the separate video. We can discuss about this in the detail. Right now, I just wanted to give you some introduction about the Visual Studio. I hope you understood something and I was able to make some like introduction about this Visual Studio. We'll be discussing about Visual Studio and other stuff in the later videos. Thank you for watching the video.